Okay, legends, welcome back to the channel with another Overlord, Lord of Nazarick video. Now in this video, we'll be talking about a unit that is specifically meant to be played with a technical usage, with manual play, and it requires a little bit of thinking and what to do per action and how to abuse this unit and use it in general. And absolutely a good unit, but it requires you to be smart with your plays rather than playing on auto, and it's none other than Lakyus. Now, it might be the character that is going to be released soon, next after the Manor of Negredo goes away, or Lupus Regina. We don't know which one is coming. Lupus Regina, the wolf form that we did a video about her, which is the bleed one, the warrior one, or Lakyus. And both of them are absolutely amazing, and they are damage dealers, attackers. We're gonna go and talk about her just right now. You can find her if you're gonna go to Realm of Shadow, also Perorancino. In the stage 21, I discovered her. She's in the different stages earlier, but here where I can see her, and we're gonna go and talk about her. And she's here, she's a Sapphire, she's a warrior. We're gonna go inside and talk about her because we want to check her speed, and she basically have decent speed. So we're gonna talk about her and check her skills. An absolutely lovely unit, and I love her art. Absolutely great with her swords and with everything that she has. And this is Lakyus, and her speed is at 158, which is still slow relatively here, but she's not the slowest character. She's still a good character, and she can go with her ultimate into two forms. We're gonna be talking about her. She's an AoE, yet a single target unit. We'll be talking about her skills. So first of all, she's a Sapphire, she's a warrior. It means she counters Garnet, and she can be countered by Emerald. We'll be talking about her, and she's an attack-based user. We talk about her skills. So first of all, her first skill, which is a semi-AoE or AoE and single target, depending on the state that you are at. So Lakyus leaps into the air and slams her cursed sword down on a single enemy or all enemies, depending on her state of Magic Bloom. So when not in the state of Magic Bloom. Now, what's Magic Bloom before we start? It's a buff that increases 10% of attack and reduces her defense by 10%. So either you have Magic Bloom, you increase your attack and reduce your defense, or you remove this and you don't get the benefit of getting the 10% attack, but reduce it, but your defense will become normal and you will not take the -10 defense. This buff cannot be dispelled. It means you can trigger it and remove it by your playing style. So deals damage equal to 110% of attack to a single enemy target. This is a physical damage when she's not in the Magic Bloom. Now, when you're in Magic Bloom, you're gonna do magical. It depends, like in the name you can understand that. So 110, which is a huge single target hit, and you can absolutely go and destroy your enemy. But when in the state of Magic Bloom, deals magical damage equal to 6% of attack to all enemies, which is huge actually for her. Now, she doesn't inflict debuffs at all. She only gains buffs. We're gonna be talking about her. Now let's talk about her passive, and this is interesting. You need to focus here a little bit because it will be explaining, or it will be showcasing her potential with her ultimate. We're gonna talk about her ultimate next. So Cursed Sword of Kiliniram, or something like that. We're gonna call it Kiliniram or something like that. So Lakyus' Cursed Sword is imbued with devastating magic. When she's not in the state of Magic Bloom, after launching a direct attack, depending on whichever you're using by the skills, Lakyus gains a shield. Now, this shield is equal to 50% of her current attack immediately for 2 rounds, stack up to a maximum of 160% of her base attack. Now, this shield will be absolutely huge. We'll be talking about why is the shield super important, and it's based off her attack. So the more you build her on attack, the shield will be thicker. The 160% of your attack will be huge and huge and huge. So, upon activation of Magic Bloom, removes all of her shield. She removed the shield and channel 25% of the remaining shield value into Cursed Sword Kilinaram for 2 rounds. Okay, now what is this buff? Its attack inflicts magical damage equal to the shield up to 60% initial attack. This cannot be dispelled. So whatever she removes of the shield, she removes all of her shield and channel 25% of this shield, not the remaining. They say remaining, but it's 25% of this shield into a buff for herself as an attack and the curse magic up to 60%. So the 25% cannot exceed her initial attack. Okay, and when we say initial, or the main value of the attack. So the initial value is your attack when you build her and max her out on attack. Now, when you get a buff in attack boost from a different set, let's say from Alchemy set, this will not be calculated with the attack buff. So this will be a separate calculation for that. So it will be an additional, so it will not be contributed towards the shield or the removal of the shield. Now, upon activation of Magic Bloom, gains attack boost as well. So when you get the Magic Bloom, as we said, the shield or the Magic Bloom buff, she will gain 10% of attack, plus she's gonna gain another boost, which is an attack for 30%. So this is in total 40% basic boost on her attack, and not calculated with her initial attack, because her initial attack gives her the shield. These all buffs does not contribute into that shield. Okay, keep that in mind. Upon the activation of Magic Bloom, gains a shield equal to her attack for 2 rounds. To her attack, not the attack with the buffs. So the buffs will not buff her attack. You want to build her on attack set, plus build her on attack substats, so her shield will become thicker, and that's it. Okay, each time Magic Bloom is activated or deactivated, remove 1 debuff from herself and gains ER boost. So she cleanses herself and gains a big ER boost at 45%. I think it's at 45%. So she's gonna be a little bit somewhere immune to controls and for debuffs, which is huge for her. It means she can be on the lineup active and you can use her more and more. Now, her second skill, Lakyus summons Floating Sword to attack 1 primary enemy target and 5 random enemies. This is absolutely huge, and sometimes this 5 random enemies, it can hit on 1 random enemy. So it's 5 random enemies, and it could be on all of them, or it can target only 1, depending on your RNG with that. When not in the state of Magic Bloom, deals damage equal to 45% of attack. When in the state of Magic Bloom, deals magical damage equal to 45% of attack, prioritizing the primary target. So the primary target will take more random hits from this attack, which is great actually. When in the state of Magic Bloom, increases the damage dealt to the targets with shields by 30%. So if you're fighting somebody that gives shields like Knight Albero or PDL or let's say Isekai, and he gives shields to everybody, these people or these units that have the shields, they will take extra 30% damage. It means removing the shield or going through the shield, removing it and dealing more damages to them, which is absolutely huge. Counter shielding meta without even having buff block to remove the shield, because buff block remove the shield. So if she has buff block on herself, also she doesn't gain a shield unless she remove it and cleanse it with herself, which we talked about with her passive. Now her ultimate, which is really great, it has a lot of description. I'll be talking about them. It's not that hard. Lakyus unleashes Dark Blade Mega Impact, attacking all enemies. When not in the state of Magic Bloom, deals damage equal to 100% of attack to every enemy. When not in the state of Magic Bloom, gains Magic Bloom afterwards. So after this skill, and I'm gonna explain how does she do it. Like, she does her ultimate, gains Magic Bloom. Now what? I'm gonna tell you now what. It will say it here down. Gains an additional turn. So this will increase or decrease her usability. So let's talk about the second condition. When in the state of Magic Bloom, these magical damage equal to 100% of attack. So when she's not on the Magic Bloom buff, she does physical damage, which you can counter with defense. When she's in the Magic Bloom, she does magical damage, which you can counter with magical defense. This is why she's good and flexible on every enemy, to play against every enemy. Some enemies have high magical defense. You can hit them with this one and with the normal attacks and deal damages, normal physical damages to them. Or if they are high on physical damage, you can hit them with the Magic Bloom state and hit them for magical damage and increase their damages. And again, we have other units that buff magical damages, such as Idol Shaltir. So if you play her with Idol Shaltir, she buffs magical defense or buffs magical damage, or removes a little bit of magical defense from the enemies, so you can go and deal more extra magical damage. And this is absolutely huge. It's a little bit of calculation that you need to do on your lineup. You need to know what units are you playing, when are you in this state, who are you hitting, if you need to use physical damage or physical or magical damage to go and eliminate your enemies and counter them. So when in the state of Magic Bloom, deactivates Magic Bloom. So when you do your ultimate and you are in Magic Bloom, you remove Magical Bloom after that. And when you are not in the Magic Bloom and you use your ultimate, you activate Magic Bloom. Now, hitting grants 100 basic chance to dispel a buff from the target. Now, with Arclight, we don't know if she removes more buffs or she cleanses herself more, or she gives shields, or she deals extra stuff. We need to wait a little bit until she gets released. So we know with her Arclight what happens, and when you start her up with her stars and level her up to the maximum and level up her skills, we know what will happen. But 100% she gains an additional turn. So she does her ultimate, she gets another turn. You can use the first skill or the second skill depending on what you want to hit and where you want to hit. And basically you're going to hit with your second skill, or maybe hit with your first skill if you want as well, depending on the buff that you have. So if you're not on magical on the magic boom or on the magical bloom, you will go and deal damages to a specific unit on the lineup, and you'll understand how to work with that. So you can start the battle. If you feel like you want to deal only physical damage, if she does her ultimate, she's gonna go into magical damage. If you don't want to do that, you can just hit with the second skill or the first skill, and that's it, you can continue. Now, if you want to swap and make her go into physical or magical damage, you can use her ultimate, but she will not gain her shields. On Magic Bloom, she does not gain shields. Without Magic Bloom, she's gonna gain her shields, and back and forth with that, and you can go increase your ER boost with your passives when you remove your shields, and so on and so on. Absolutely a unit that is smart to play with, and it requires a little bit of calculation when you play against your enemies. You want to build her most likely on attack, you want to build her maybe a little bit on ER, and that's it, what you need to do. If you build her maybe on defense, I think damage reduction is the best boost stat for her as a substat, because she's gonna counter magical and physical at the same time if she's gonna take damages from them. Let's go and check how her attack or how skills go. And I don't think that she starts immediately. I should play one that freezes lineups. Wait a second. Let me show you her skills, because her skills are nice. The swords, when she does the animation, is absolutely nice. We're gonna play tanks here, you for damage mitigation, and I'm gonna freeze Nigredo because she's a pain in the butt when you're gonna go and fight her. And we're gonna go and check how her attacks looks, okay? I don't want to play anybody else to kill the lineup. I just want to play full tanks and gonna hit Nigredo with the ultimate with him so we can freeze her, and we're gonna go and check everybody else. So okay, so here we go, and let's shield each other, and I think they're gonna start. No, we're gonna attack somebody, and they're gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna attack her. She has gaze, she's gonna take a hit again. Okay, so they started with Shaltir, and here we go, and she used, I think this is her second skill. This is not her ultimate. This was her second skill, which is still fine. It's still looking good. So I'm gonna go and attack you. Hopefully, okay, we're not gonna freeze anybody. Let's go single target attacks and check how we can go with this. And Lakyus gets a turn. Let's shield. We'll shield because you're gonna not get anything. And we're gonna heal my entire lineup. So we're gonna buff them. And Nigredo, then Nigredo with her ultimate. Then we're gonna use you. Okay, so I'm gonna use you, and now we're gonna go with her skill. So let's check her skill. How does it go now? Oh wait, no, it's you. All right, then our lizard boyo, come on, you're gonna do something. All right. Now Demiurge. Okay, and now Lakyus. Here we go, Lakyus. You can do your skill. I think she did her ultimate, and now she's gonna... here we go. Let me heal you. All right. Now you can go. Why PDL now? Come on. Lakyus, go. Play. This is her ultimate. Okay, nice. She did second skill, and now she's doing her ultimate. She drops it, like from heavens, and AoE, magical to everybody, and she gained the buff. If you want to check the buff now, if we're gonna go and check her out, now she has the buffs. So she has here attack boost, which she gets it, ER boost because she lost the shields, curse sword Canalum because she lost the shield, and she gained magic boom because she did her ultimate again. So we have her magical bloom, and she gonna go and reduce the defense and magical defense. Okay, reduces defense and magical defense by 10%. Not so every kind of defenses. It's not only the physical defense. Increases her attack by 10%. She has blood congeal double from Demiurge or Yaldabaoth, which is absolutely huge, because this is a character that is absolutely impossible. Everybody has 2 stacks. It means we can't drop them below 50% for 2 times, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, that's basically it for her. I just wanted to show you her animation here in the fight. Absolutely a stunning unit. I love her art. I love her design. I love the way that she scales off of her attack. For an attacker, finally they didn't give me an attacker that says, oh, scale off of your let's say buffs that you get, or scale off the speed or something. No, right off from the attack. Increase your attack, deal more damages, just like Mari. Increase more attack, your seeds does more damages. And yeah, that was it for the video. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about it? Are you gonna summon her? I'm absolutely gonna summon for her. This is a fun character to play around, and I'll see you in the next one.